There's a lot of news in the crypto market, a lot of fear, a lot of FUD, which is fear, a lot of excitement, a lot of things that people are looking out for or are scared of. In this video, I would like to talk a little bit about, letting that go, look at the hard numbers and how to make the most out of this market. Because we are in a market, guys, where you can make so much money. It's unbelievable. People are getting millionaire overnight in this market, and that doesn't happen that often that you should count on that. Of course, you should have a strategy, but what I'm trying to say is that we live in a time where you can open up your computer and make millions by just sitting behind your computer. It's incredible. So we live in a great area. You can live your best life. You can be absolutely free. You can do whatever you want. And therefore, in this video, I would like to go over, a couple of altcoins that I'm looking at, which are still about to come out, but why I'm looking at these right now. And also that if you do not have that much money in crypto and you might think like, yeah, shit, maybe I need like 2 or 3 bull markets to be a millionaire. If you play it right, you can pull it off right now, right in this bull market. So it's just a little motivational video right here. I don't want to, whine about my own story, but in the last bull market, I started, I don't really know exactly where anymore, but kind of halfway, not even here in the accumulation area. And I made $200,000. Which is, a lot of money for everybody, but especially for me, it was like, what the fuck did I just do? Like 200K, like, man. I remember that if in 2013, I've bought my first Bitcoin for $400 and I sold it at 800 because I felt like, wow, I made $400. That's like so much money to me. Can you imagine if you make like 200 grand in half a bull market, while I back here I knew what I was doing, but not as well as I do right here. So I feel like, man, if I now start with a good amount of money, or at least some money, because I literally started with zero right here, man, then I can make so much money right here. And that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video, to cheer everybody up. Because there will always be days where, like, you have feelings, if you want to admit it or not, right? Some people, they look at the market and they're very calm, but overall, if the market drops, usually people don't feel that great, right? If the market goes up, usually people feel great. Even when I am not fully allocated in the market and the market goes down, I feel bad because just red numbers work like negatively, work in a negative way on your brain somehow. It's the euphoria that we are trying to seek in the crypto market, the feeling of making a 10x or just seeing a big amount on your Bybit account, or link down below, or whatever, right? That's the best feeling you can get out of crypto. But most people are counting on luck, right? They just put some money into something and be like, oh, let it work. And there is such a small chance that it works, right? That people try to do it. It's like the lottery. Like you're buying tickets in the hope you win. That's the excitement. While in reality, the chance that you win is actually not that high and you get disappointed. However, the lottery is something that we don't have really much control over, and crypto is in until a certain point. Because with crypto, yes, we do not know if the market will go up or down. We can, look at the data that we have and make our best guesses, and based on that, there is a lot that's, so far quite predictable. But although it's not fully predictable, you can place your odds at the best place you can. And that's a little bit what I want to talk about. So, if you look at Bitcoin, for example, right? Let's start with Bitcoin. And why Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin reflects the market, give or take. You can give or take. If Bitcoin goes up, you can pretty much say that altcoins go up as well. Of course, there are always exceptions that suck, but overall, it's how it works like that. Now, if you look at Bitcoin in this market from the accumulation phase, basically, if you take it somewhere there to the, not even the top, but just close to the top, Could have made a 50x on Bitcoin. Crazy, right? If you take it here from around the bottom and you take it to around the top, you could have made a 16x. Also very well. Right now, this video is not about where Bitcoin is going in this market exactly, right? I have other videos about my guesses, right? I just want to call them guesses, not predictions, actually. But it's not what it's about. But it's pretty safe to say, and even that doesn't feel safe to say, that Bitcoin will go up higher than where it is right now, right? Now, let's say that Bitcoin will do a, I don't know, man, a 4x from this point, right? Well, hey, don't get me wrong, 4xing your money in 2 years, nobody in any other sector feels like, wow, yeah, that's like normal, right? That's exceptional. That's awesome. That's great. But for the crypto degens out there, they feel like, if I invest into something that doesn't make me a 60x by 1 o'clock this then yeah, that's a little different, right? Crypto things are a lot more volatile, less liquidity, moves faster. Therefore, the danger is just as much out there as the reward, right? You can lose your money just as easy as well. But also that comes down to feelings, right? If you look in the last market, where we started to pick up, and then we had our COVID crash, right? And everything went to shit, right? It's from like the top right here, the 618 on the Fibonacci. That's exactly where this top is, by the way. Imagine, in a couple of months, we went from that top, while everybody was expecting a bull market, just like now, down 71%. That's the same as going now down to $14,000. Imagine. Well, that's how a lot of people felt right here. Overall, end of the day, it didn't even matter. This was perfect, right? Because the people that bought the dip, they made a lot of money. And even if you didn't, just holding on to it, and it turned out to be okay. The problem is that people get emotional, right? If we now, and I'm not saying it will, I don't think it will, but yeah, people here didn't think it would have done it as well. But I'm not saying it goes 14K, let me be very clear about that. But let's say we go to 14K, right? Do you know how many people will freak the fuck out? Because we are at 42. If we go to 14, apparently something is wrong, right? Something terrible is happening. Well, yeah, and that was the case. And yet it all, like, at the end of the day, it turned out to be okay. And even these people that did nothing from this point, even they made a 4x. Even if you bought the top, right? Don't get emotional if something doesn't go according to your plan, because you should have a plan in crypto. But then there's always the market that says like, nah, and that's it tries to get you out of the market, right? A lot of people here, they felt like, yeah, it's over, fuck, right? Why do you think we went from 4,400 to, let's say, 3,900? Because people sold there, right? People sold there. These are the people that are the only ones that were affected by this. The people that bought were affected as well, but in a positive way, right? So, even if that happens, don't freak out. And if you are really freaking out, though, you should ask yourself, like, yeah, maybe am I not maybe a little over allocated in this market? If you are so freaking out about your money, maybe you're over allocated, right? Like, you should know that. But back to my point right here is, man, I have so many points right here. One, if Bitcoin does, let's say, a 4x, and let's say the altcoin market collectively, right, does a 10x from this point, and a lot of altcoins will do way more than that, but collectively, like, I don't see Ethereum making a 20x, for example, in this cycle, right? So let's say we go from 190 billion to, like, what is it? 2 trillion or something like that. You could be like, man, even if I buy right now, I only make 10x. And I have like $2,000, maybe. I don't know. That's nice money, but will 20K change your life? Well, for most people, it won't, right? But that's the thing. Like, if the market provides you with a 10x, you can make so much more out of it. So much more, right? You can always trade, and taking profits and reinvesting is also kind of trading, but for me it's like more strategically investing, right? Trading, if I hear trading, I'd be like buy, sell, leverage, this, that. I'm not much about that, to be honest. I'm just like, I'm definitely not. I know how to trade, but I like investing more. Trading way too time consuming, and yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. But hypothetically, what you can do, right? The altcoin market, what did it do from the bottom till the top? It did a 86x. Right now, of course, you did not buy the bottom and you did not sell the top. If only buying the bottom, you already didn't do that. Only selling the top, you already didn't do that, right? Let alone both. But hey, the market provides you with a 86x. But hypothetically, right? Again, you won't time it. Hypothetically, what you could have done is bought the bottom, sold your $1,000, let's say, for a 4x, your 4K. Awesome. You wait a little bit, right? You feel like, oh, it's a good time to reinvest. You put your 4K now in the market. And then you make a, whatever, 50x on your 4K, right? That's $200,000. Starting with 1,000. So you made a 200x in a market that offered you an 80 something x. Right? And this is over the very long time frame. This is on a monthly chart. If you put it on the daily, you can take these trades way smaller, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, well, for example, I am an investor in Ronin, right? And I said this a couple of, maybe yesterday's video, I don't know. I'm an investor in Ronin, and I happened to bought it at 40 cents, maybe 42 or something. I made a very good entry on Ronin, right? I could have got it cheaper, I know, YouTube audience, I know how that works. Hey, fuck that. I made just a 2x from the bottom. If you look at some previous coins and you take it in hindsight and you bought it just 2x from the bottom, so Solana not at $1 but at, I don't know, $2, you did very well, right? So I've bought it right there. Now, the whole market at the moment is red, as you can see a little bit, right? It's all red right now. We have a red day, we will have those, right? Now, on Ronin, I made a 5x, give or take. Yeah, if I sell it right now, I have 6x. That's good. That's really good. Because I can take a part of that, let's say my initial investment, plus like maybe 20% gains, right? To also secure some gains. And I can put it into something that's down a lot. So I'm looking in my list right here. And I'll be like, well, you know, Volker Forged. Hey, Volker Forged was ranging, right? Broke out, found a new resistance point. Now it's looking to retest this line right here, maybe the bull market support band. So instead of buying Volker Forged at $9, I can now buy it like almost 40% cheaper, right? With the profit that I made. Right, so this is a free entry right here. And if then it just goes back to the top of the range, I'll also make a 40% on that. Right? I'm not trying to in this video say like, hey, this is how you should trade, but it's more like, do take your profits and put it into something that has also the potential to do well. You do not have to do this every day or every week, because then you're technically still trading. But every now and then, you know, every month, maybe every 2 months, I don't know, look at your portfolio and just be like, hey, is it still well balanced? Should I maybe restructure a little bit? That way you can really build yourself some free positions. I have a moonshot portfolio. I have multiple portfolios, right? And I have my main portfolio, I have a cash portfolio, I have my moonshot portfolio. And that moonshot portfolio has a lot more like low cap coins with high risk, and on a lot of coins I made like a 4x or something like that. And this is what I did. I took my profits, put it into something else, they made profits, and now that whole portfolio is completely free. So even if it goes to zero, it doesn't matter, I'm still back where I was. And I even had some profits taken. So basically I made profits and they can never take that from me, right? That's what you want, because that will make you feel a lot more comfortable as well when we have these red days. If people, for example, looked at Avalanche and they were like, wow, look at Avalanche, pulled off a 6x, and it'd be like, yeah, this is going to the moon, man. This is going to this resistance point because the chart says this, right? So let's buy it at $50. I mean, it came from 150, safe play for a 3x. However, now they are already down 40% almost. While if you are in your free place, basically, you can now look at your money that you didn't even have before, be like, hey, I've got some free money right here. Oh, nice, AVAX is on a discount right now. Let's buy some AVAX, right? And if it goes down, you'll be like, yeah, whatever, it's free money anyway. And if it goes up, you make even more. Right? It's so important to make sure that you sleep well at night, no matter what happens. If the market goes sideways, up or down, that's what I'm doing. Like if it goes sideways, cool, I'm staking a lot of coins, I'm getting a passive income from nodes that are running, from pre-sales that I invested in, getting money from all places. So if it goes sideways, yeah, I'm not making 100x, but I'm still getting money, so that's good. If it goes down, I have a very big cash portfolio, and even though the market overall, you know, in the halving year like 2024 and even the post halving year 2025 is very bullish, I will never be 100% out of cash. Never, 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 never. Because if that was the case, I would feel like shit for the last month already. Plus, I'm missing out on a lot of opportunities. And these opportunities, they come, yeah, through any kind of forms, really. Because if you look, let me show you something really interesting. There was this. What was the name again? Well, this pre-sale that completely blew up, right? There was a pre-sale that blew up, and I think I can find it here. Yeah, it was on Bounce. This Satoshi VM completely blew up. Did it 300x. People are talking about it like this is the next best, did that, blah blah blah. But this is not that uncommon, right? This is definitely not that uncommon. If you look at previous IDOs and ICOs, and you look at the all-time high ROI, look what some projects did, what kind of numbers they made. 300x is way down on the first page of this list. And there were many more projects that did that, right? And you should look how to get into these projects. That's at least you should do nothing. You should do whatever you want, but that's what I'm doing. I'm looking how to get into these projects, and how to get into that, in my opinion, is by having the right network, right? If you are in crypto for a long time, you know that there are always like these Telegram groups where people say like, why is price dropping? Get the fuck out of there, right? That's not the place that you want to be. That's not like, these kind of people won't contribute to your success in any form, okay? You should really look at groups with people that have experience. And yeah, usually these are paid groups, but that's also an investment. I'm in some paid groups, and there are a lot of smart people out there. There are some amazing, like not every YouTuber sucks, right? Some YouTubers, they do it for clicks or they want to shield their affiliates, but there are also some good YouTubers and they have their Patreon and you get into the groups. I'm in a couple of those groups, and there are some people there that are also willing to pay for experience and knowledge. And these people, they try their best to find the best information and to share it with you as well. And there you can learn about these kind of projects, and you eventually start to learn what to look for. Like, hey, what you can do is like invest in yourself, right? Like Altora, from the start. It did an 800x all-time high ROI, right? That's nice. And you probably look at this and be like, hey, okay, but I missed this, like next. But you could also look at this and be like, okay, why did this blew up so hard, right? So go back to that period and be like, hey, how was the market back then? What were the narratives that were around back then? What is Altora? What was it bringing to the table? How did their team look like? What kind of tokenomics did they, release with? Try to understand why this blew up, so you can maybe also find the next one to blow up. Right? That's most important. Don't look at crypto too much like could have, would have, should have. Like I should have invested in here. Yeah, go. If you only want to throw pity parties like that, that's like very easy to do, but it's not gonna help you. Okay, try to learn from this. Try to, like, I missed out on that Satoshi VM thing. I heard about it somewhere, but I hear about so many things and I haven't really looked into it. So I was like, yeah, whatever, right? And now it blew up, and I can be sitting here like, fuck, if I just put $1,000 in there, then man, believe me, I missed out 2 years ago or something on a private sale. I wanted to invest 10K in that private sale, but I had to KYC and my passport was in my other room and I was too lazy to stand up. So I forgot the private sale and it did 100x. Could have made $1 million if I wasn't lazy enough to stand up. There's always like could have, would have, should have, but like I now look at Satoshi VM like, why did this blow up? Right? Well, BRC20 is a hype. Like, but look into it. Like, okay, but what did this project do? What was the timing? Was it luck? Was it like, where did they raise their money? Like, who were the seed investors or the venture capital? Like, look at everything there is, right? And try to learn from it. So important, right? Now, I can be specific about certain coins that I am looking at. And I'm gonna do that just to let you know. But it's not that I'm saying like, hey, just go on YouTube and search for 10 best altcoins or something like that's what I always did, right? 10 best altcoins, this and that. Like, but 9 times out of the 10, these are not the 10 best altcoins. And plus, you get that information together with everybody else. So you are front running nobody. Right? And the way to make money in crypto is to buy something earlier than everybody else because they pay a higher price then. So to really make that big, like explosive return, you have to front run somebody. You're not going to front run somebody if everybody else gets the same public information from that coin on YouTube, right? That's not going to work. So try to learn how to find these things. Therefore, I'm like, I don't talk about specific altcoins every day on this channel. And I am going to do that more because I do want to let you know what I'm looking at and what my entries are. But I think it's far more important and valuable to have the knowledge to find these things yourself, right? So that you find it, you invest in it because you did your research, you know why it's good. And then when other people find out, then these YouTubers going to start to talk about it. And then everybody gets in and you were already there. Right? That's the way to make money. But another way is to dive into something a little bit more specific. You can look at funds, for example, right? Here are the major VCs, right? So there's, for example, Binance Labs. A lot of projects are incubated by Binance Labs, like Sui, for example. And what you can do is look like, hey, what is Binance Labs investing in, right? Because they play with some big money. Okay. Now, also, this is also quite public, right? But it's already a little more specific. So you can look at, and this is no guarantee, right? Like Binance Labs also doesn't know what's going to blow up. But hey, if they are confident enough to put $50 million into SkyArk, whatever the fuck, then maybe it's worth looking into. So you can look at this project like, okay, they raised a lot of money, which is already good because they have money for good exchange listings, for liquidity, to work on the product, to whatever. Right, so then you can start looking at the project like, okay, what is it exactly? Well, we saw it's GameFi, it's sector mobile. Okay, well, GameFi already showed that it's going to be pretty big. I think, in my opinion, mobiles are more accessible than whatever. Like if I want to play a game, I can now grab my phone and have a game in 1 minute. If I want to go to my console, first I have to find that piece of shit, then I have to plug it in, and like, I think mobile is more accessible, whatever. But, you know, so the narrative is something that I like, right? Not something that is good, but something that I like, right? That I believe in. And you can look whatever the backers are, right? And like, they have a lot of big backers right here. So you can, for example, go to the Twitter, do your research, like, oh, a lot of people are following them. Okay, interesting. And then you can maybe dive into the socials, find out like, hey, is there some seed, private, sell, this, that going on? And if it, for example, turns out that seed is too expensive or the private sale is already over, but they will have a public sale on a big launchpad, look at that launchpad, right? Be there. Like, most people are not in these launchpads. Although it's a big hype, there are millions of people in crypto and only like 6,000 people in CDFI, right? And that's where you want to be. Right? That's definitely where you want to be. Now, there is one specific project that I do want to mention in this video because I really like, I am a big investor in this project. At least I, with my VC, which was called What Do You Mean? But it's going to rebrand. We invest a lot of money in Xverse. Xverse is a game powered by Immutable. Right, Immutable, they announced it themselves as well. Incubated by CDFI, Kucoin Labs, right? It's gonna release on, I think, Bullstarter, GameFi, Chain GPT, well, CDFI, good exchange listings already, and their pre-sale is yet to start, right? Now, gaming is a big hype, so this is interesting. And if we do take a look at this, I don't have the sound on, so it's not as spectacular as it would have been. But whatever. But for crypto, this is huge. Like, we talk about shrapnels, about big times, about the what is it called? Came from Godzilla, off the grid. It looks quite similar, like the kind of Call of Duty of crypto. Right, and this is the reason why I invested. It's like, it looks good, but the team knows what they're doing. They make Web 2 players, so people that are not in crypto. They make it very easy for them to spend their coins, right, without actually knowing how a wallet works and all that kind of stuff. So they make it accessible as well. So this is a project that I really like, and I'm looking forward to what they have to bring to the table. And it's, you know, no surprise that all the major launchpads are coming in to this. Another one like Pools is also there are a lot of launchpads, right? And you can go with the cheapest ones, but there's not necessarily the best ones. I rather prefer the launchpads that are not necessarily cheap, but the ones that have showed that they know what they do. Pools is also one of the best performing launchpads out there. Super professional team. They get good quality projects. You know, just buy some Pools tokens, stake it, and you can participate. I can make a full video for you if you want, but you know, it's you should look like, hey, they have Codex, right? What is Codex? Oh yeah, Codex is on Pools. Hey, maybe if I want to have an exposure to Codex, I should go to Pools, right? And for the future projects, right? They have a lot. They have Euphorica, DChat, Mindao, Octavia AI, Paytex, Reveal, Velvet Cat, like so much, right? Super interesting stuff. So do check out Pools. I will make a more dedicated video again about this, but I just want to let you know like how I'm looking at things and where I'm looking at. And look the projects that they release, right? Pools also, they 155x, 100x, like 100x, 50x, 40x, 40x, like, oh, nice. Gains Associates. That's also another launchpad, but they apparently released on Pools. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I'm a big investor in there as well. What do you mean? But 40x, right? They released good projects. So you know that, hey, yeah, pools is a little bit more expensive than AI tech or whatever, spores or whatever, right? But you also know that pools brings projects to the table that can pull these off. So big projects that are going to release are way more interested to release on pools, right? So that's kind of what you want to take a look at. Now, this is so much information in one video, and it is kind of all over the place. But what I'm basically trying to say is be smart. Like, don't be too emotional about your investments. Have some cash on the sideline. Know how to be early into certain projects as well. Most best releasing projects, if we do take a look at Bitcoin again, most best releasing projects in the last bull market did not release until somewhere here, right? So even if the market now rips and you have still a big fat bag of cash on the sideline and you feel like you're missing out with that, you don't, right? There will be opportunities. I've said this before, but if you are looking at the altcoin market in general, last cycle, right? If you look at the altcoin market and it was February 2021 or so, right? And it topped out in November. So in February, somewhere here, right? Like if you invested on the open market, yeah, you could have made a 4x on the altcoin market, right? And even later, if you invested in March, you could have made maybe a 2x on the altcoin market. So you might feel like, well, yeah, you know, if I wait much longer, then it's not worth it anymore. You would have made more money in crypto if you have your cash, did not invest anything on the open market for this whole period, skip the entire bull market basically, and put everything what you had into these great pre-sales at the end of the bull market. Even if they got vested in the bear market, most went to shit right here. But there's some that didn't, like Illuvium, Solana, right? That was in the pre. They made up for that big time, right? So always keep some cash as well, and then you can take these euphoric big 100x, if not more, hits that can and will change your life. But you have to look at the right places, right? The best performing projects of this coming bull market are not on the market yet. Not 100% guaranteed. Not. Right? Of course, there are some projects right now somewhere in the like page 15,000 of coin market cap that will blow up. But yeah, try to gamble your way through them, right? Like you will put so much money into everything that you need 1,000x to make up for all the losses you made with the other investments. That's not gonna work, right? This is way more strategic, safe. Yeah, and it requires some patience. And patience is a bitch in a market where everything can move quite fast and you feel like you're missing out. And it's crypto. Like, I should be rich tomorrow. And if not, I'm doing something wrong. Like, no, man. It doesn't work like that, right? It can stay flat for a long time. And all of a sudden you started to print money like never before. You'd be like, what the hell? Yeah, and then comes the hard part. Then it's about taking profits. That for another time though. But I hope this was a little motivational for you. I will try to make more of these videos as well, because this is what I can preach about for like apparently 33 minutes. Nobody's watching anymore. I don't care. If you do still watch the video, then you're probably gonna make it, man. Because if you invest your time to hear information like this, then you are willing to take the right choices that will reward you in crypto. So let me know in the comments if you still watch it. If you do like the video, please like the video. It would help me a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, or if you have still not done it. Turn the bell notification on so you won't miss out on anything. There's a Patreon link down below. Like I said, if you want to get into the smart communities, join, and you get a lot of good content and a lot of smart people around you.